Peace is one of those things that everybody talks about. The Bible talks about it a lot. In church, you hear it a lot. It seems like it's one of those things that everybody strives for, everybody desires, but almost no one actually has. So today I want to talk about what it truly means to live a peaceful biblical life. Yo, what is good, y'all? It's your boy Paul Bernard II, otherwise known as PB. I've been a full-time content creator and entrepreneur for the last 5 years. So as you can see, I'm not alone. I'm actually dog sitting, house sitting for my brother right now. Y'all want to introduce yourselves? Come here, Lilo, come here. Oh, hi. So this is Lilo. You can see she has no regard for personal space. And then my guard dog, Rambo. Bo, come here. Say hi. Oh, man. Y'all just be, ooh. Okay, buddy. All right, get down, get down. So anyways, I hope you guys don't mind the extra presents. But so the Bible talks about peace. Peace is a fruit of the Spirit, or in other words, it's proof and evidence that God is with you and you are with God, that you are abiding with each other. So that means that it is a choice. So when I think about peace, I often break it up into 3 categories. There's peace with others, or in the Old Testament, that word for peace would be shalom. And then there's peace with yourself. And then there's peace with Christ. So that means having harmony with others, having harmony with yourself, and then having harmony and good relationship status with God, your Father. So what I've noticed, and this is personal observation, is that people tend to have a problem with one of those 3. And if you have a problem with the last one, which is peace with God, then you are not going to have peace altogether. It doesn't even matter. Peace with God, peace with Christ is the most important. But when it comes to having peace with others or peace with yourself, think about what is your challenge in that area. For me, I can say that I hate drama. I'm not the type to go back and forth with people. I often shelter and hide myself when I have problems with people, or I'll do things to kind of people please, which is a problem in itself, but I'm just not a person of drama. Other people tend to love drama. In fact, they even watch shows about drama. Like, I don't know if you into the whole Love Island kick that's going on right now. I'm not into that type of stuff. But my problem stems from having peace with myself. And what I've learned that means is that I have a lack of trust and understanding in what God says and in his scriptures. So if you have a lack of peace with yourself or lack of peace with others, it most likely stems from the same thing, because peace is a factor of trust. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have trust unless you have peace, but most likely if you don't have peace, it's because of a lack of trust in some area. So the only true way to have peace is to have trust and understanding in God, in what he says. When you truly understand the words of the scriptures, when you truly understand God's promises, everything in your life has an answer. Even when you're going through extreme conditions or extremely tough situations, whether that's a problem with somebody else, a problem with yourself, or a problem with life in general, the Bible has answers to it. God has promises. No matter what you go through, you will not be separated from Christ. No matter what goes on, God has already saved you from everything that you can go through. When you trust those promises, it will give you peace, because you understand that there is nothing that can truly affect you. Now, yes, you can have emotions that can disturb your peace, like grief. It's a natural emotion that we deal with, but that should not take you away from your faith walk and take you away from your relationship with Christ. There should be nothing that ultimately alters your life other than the influence of Christ in your life. Christ is the only one who should dictate your moves and your actions, not your emotions, not your circumstances, not what others do to you. All of those things may affect your emotions, but ultimately your life and your outlook of life, your perspective, comes from Christ and his scriptures. So here's one thing that I really wanted to cover. If you are someone who tends to struggle with having peace with others, it's really important to examine the people who are around you. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. Bad company corrupts good character. These are words from the Bible. And if you have people in your life who you are not ministering to, who you call your friends, who you allow to influence you, and they have battles with sin, they have specific influences in their life that you know are not biblical, that are ultimately affecting them, don't think that it's not going to affect you. Who you surround yourself with, who you absorb influence from, that affects you as well. Their battles, their oppression, their cycles of sin, their habits, their lack of prioritizing God. Even though you may have a strong life with God, if Satan is invited in their life and is welcomed there, then ultimately he's going to think that he can be cool with you as well. So when it comes to peace in general, it is important to analyze your circle around you. And when it comes to being a disciple, if you are discipling into people who operate in a type of sin that you also battle with, then you are going to be susceptible to that sin as well. It's important to protect yourself, because you can't help somebody else if you have not first helped yourself. It is out of the comfort that you have been given in abundance that you are able to comfort others who have been afflicted. That's That's what Paul says in Corinthians. So protecting your personal peace, which starts first with your relationship with God, and then your trust and understanding about what God says with yourself, so you may have peace with yourself. Even though we are miserable human beings, like Paul says in Romans, who can understand this life of sin and suffering? Understanding that and being able to have peace with yourself in spite of the sin and suffering that you deal with will then allow you to have peace with others. So you can see the cycle of relationship, which creates peace. Peace with God, peace with yourself, peace with others. It is not to say that if you don't have peace with others that you just can't have the peace from God, or that if you don't have peace with yourself that you can't have the peace from God. But these are factors that weigh into your ultimate life in the peace that God gives. Analyzing and understanding God, his characteristic, and what he says about peace. Understanding what he says about you so you can have peace with yourself, and then understanding what he says about others and relationships so that you can have peace with others. All of this weighs into the total environment of peace in your life. And this is extremely important because out of peace, God will operate in your life. If your mind is constantly focused on havoc or drama that you have with somebody else, or internal problems you're worried about yourself all the time, then how is God going to operate in you and use you to be a vessel to others? It is important to have peace because it gets you closer to God and allows him to use you more in your life, which ultimately even provides more peace for you. This is something I'm still continuing to learn every single day, because I'll tell you that one of my biggest struggles is that I like pushing myself until I break. I have this idea that you don't know how strong something is, or I don't know how strong I am until I break. So once I break, then I know my breaking point, but then it's like, dang, I'm broken. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm personally working on, because I tend to intentionally put myself in stressful circumstances just to push myself, just to see how far I can go. And that's not effective to my relationship with Christ. So if this is something that you're working on too, whether it's peace with yourself, peace with God, peace with others, and just your overall health of peace in your life, if this is something that you recognize in your life that you need to work on, I encourage you to pray specifically on peace, to ask God to reveal to you how to enter his rest, how to actually achieve this fruit of the Spirit. Because I'm telling you, once I understood what peace is and how important it is to protect it in my life, I really reached an area of my faith that I was neglecting before. It is extremely important. I hope that this encouraged you. I really do pray for peace over all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video and tuning into this channel. Please make sure to like this video. Please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to comment below, fellowship with others, pray for others, ask for prayer requests, live out your duties as a Christian and as a servant of the Lord. I'll see you on the next video. Peace. Lilo, Rambo, let's go.